welcome to our community of more mature people that we call 50 plus unfiltered. And I'm your host, Lindy Lou. Now, we are a growing community of people just that bit more mature who think that we still want to get so much out of life. How can we do that best? We can do it together. So, we're going to cover all sorts of topics, virtually nothing off limits. And so, do stay tuned and follow us because you never know what we're going to talk about next. Now, there is the saying that goes back so far that is, it's never too late to do something, or you're never too old to do something. And today we're going to prove that theory correct. And I could not be more excited to introduce you to my guest today, Helen Mary Jo. And Helen Mary Jo started a YouTube channel. And I have followed her for a few years now. And she really is a warm hug, a warm drink, a comfort blanket. She is so entertaining. She's so vibrant. She covers fashion, beauty, cookery, shopping, and really just takes on some of life's harder hitting subjects as well. Some of the things that she's been through. And really, I just cannot admire her enough for the way that she tackles some subjects that can be hard, but she just does them in such a wonderful way. And we've got to know her family too along the way. And so I want to speak to someone who has made a success of building a business later in life. You might have a burning ambition to do something and you think, you know what, it's too late now, my time has passed. No, it is never too late, and Helen is going to prove that to us now. So, without further ado, let me introduce you to this wonderful lady, Helen Mary Jo. Welcome, Helen, to our 50 plus unfiltered community. It's great to have you with us today.
My pleasure.
I'm so used to seeing you like that on the screen and enjoying your videos. But today, I'm so excited because we get you to ourselves, not all the other people, the thousands of people that watch you. So thank you so much for taking the time. Um,
Not at all.
so what we're going to be talking about today is where somebody has taken that huge leap of faith and done something completely new to them later in life. And there is a saying, it's never too late, but is it? So let's get into it. So our community is what it says on the tin, really. We're slightly more mature. And, as a person, I really admire someone who takes that leap of faith and does start something new, comes out of their comfort zone. It's not easy. I know it isn't. And that's certainly what you've done, Helen, and made a success of it. But you've started a YouTube channel, and social media for many of us more mature people might think, well, isn't that the domain of the young, really? So we have to ask you, what on earth gave you the impetus to start your own YouTube channel?
That's a very good question. And I don't really have an answer. I think there was a trigger, a very small trigger, and that is that my niece, who is actually 26 this coming Saturday, sadly, she lost all her hearing at the age of 21, completely, profoundly deaf. And she started a YouTube channel. And I guess that was the first time I knew anybody personally that had done that. And obviously, she was doing it for a very different reason, because she was talking about her journey becoming a hearing person that became a deaf person. And I was just bored, really. I was bored at home. And I am one of those people that generally people do ask me for advice about a myriad subjects, you know, whether it's home design, clothing, makeup, hair, problems, shopping, cars. I'm one of those people. I never stop looking, and I'm just kind of researching all the time. I suppose I've got a very inquiring mind, but it means I know a lot, uh, a, a little bit about a lot. I wouldn't say I'm an expert on anything, but I just thought people are always asking me that stuff. I think I've got something to offer. And you know, I made my first video portrait. I didn't even have it the right way round. I mean, honestly, and I just went into our downstairs bedroom, didn't say a word to anybody, and I just recorded it. I didn't edit it, I didn't anything, and I just put it onto YouTube. And then I started telling people that I'd started a YouTube channel, and there was little or no response really. I think everyone just thought, all right, love, you know, keep on. And I said it to my son, who's a web designer, and he said, oh, okay, mum, you've got the camera the wrong way round. You haven't got any lighting on. You haven't edited it. And I was like, all right, you know, don't tell me everything I'm doing wrong. And he did tell me just about a year ago, I suppose, he said, I thought no one is going to watch you. No one is going to watch you. I said, right, you can stop there. And that was really what triggered it. I think it was just one day I was bored. I mean, everything else is a surprise. There was no career plan at all of any description. But Henry, my son, our son, said, oh, one day, mum, you might be able to monetize it. And I didn't even know what that word was. I was like, oh, don't be ridiculous. That is honestly the truth.
Yeah, I that's a lovely story. I love it. I love the way that it started. And I guess when you say everybody asks you things, well, I know you've been a career woman, you're a mum, you're a real homemaker, you like to travel. There is a lot really that you can offer advice on. So yeah, we all turn to you now, thousands of us.
That's
So
very kind.
have you been surprised then? You must have been surprised in the way you started, just how it has taken off.
Shocked, actually, would be nearer. I started in the February, and I've got four sisters, as you probably know, and I'm the eldest. And lots of all the other superlatives. I'm the eldest, the shortest, the fattest, um, the least successful, you would say, and all of that. And she said to me, she's well, you've met her actually one time. She was on, she did Bravissimo with me, and she said, consistency. That is all I'll say to you, is you have to keep on doing it. And so I did, and I just did one video a week, and I started in the February, and suddenly on July, I think it was actually the 21st, 2023, the numbers just, I had about 400 people following me. And a lot of them knew me or knew someone who knew me, and they didn't really watch, I don't think. They just, you know, signed up because they felt sorry for me. And then suddenly it went up to like 3,500 in one day. And I was like, what just happened? And I think it was the first clothing haul I did actually, and it just hit a spot. And then the rest is history, really. It's just grown and grown from there. But no one's more surprised than me. No one.
And I was going to ask you what you put it down to, and you've said obviously, you know, one of the reasons that you would put it down to, but I know you work really hard on it. So hard work is also something, but you know, without wishing to embarrass you, you know, it is the personality and the humor. You know, because you are funny, and I do think people like people that can laugh at themselves, and you do laugh at yourself, like I laugh at myself, and
Yeah.
yeah, and as I say, you cover so many things and you make it real. So yeah, I think we all know why it's
I think
spread.
I think really it's actually very humbling. I'll tell you that. It's very humbling because I didn't realize how many lonely people there are in the world. I'd never really considered how many people are indoors all the time, how many people's family have moved away, they're widowed, they're divorced. Um, And I became a friend to those people. And I do find that really humbling when people say, I think of you as a friend, and people say, um, I answer back and I nod and I laugh. And, the ones I love best actually are the ones that say, I spat my tea out. And because I don't have any kind of script, prompts, nothing at all. And I often have to go back and it's like, what did I say? I mean, people make comments and I think, what did I say? I honestly don't know what I've said. It just comes out and it's gone into the ether. So it's hilarious, really.
Well, we've all started a petition now to put you on stage, Helen. So,
Oh,
this space.
do you know, that used to be a little, I used to have a few ambitions. I had some life coaching at one point, and I had three things I wanted to do. One of them was to write a book on child care, child rearing, not care really, and it was going to be called Consistency. And the other was to be a stand-up comedian. I can't remember what the third one was, but yeah, it was actually to be a stand-up comedian. But some of the things I would have to say would be probably for after 9 o'clock viewing.
And the thing is that you've already got your audience, your bookings would go through the roof if you decided that you'd do that because of all your followers. So there you go, you see, you've started
Yeah.
and made a success of it. So on you go. So I mean, I know you've not met us all, but what sort of age group would you roughly say that follow you?
Well, I do know that actually, Lindy, because I get all the analysis of all the numbers,
Okay.
and so I know my demographic is primarily women over 60.
Ah, right, yes.
There's a few young ones, but primarily it's over 60 and probably the bias towards over 70 actually.
Yes. And do you have any men followers?
I do, but quite often, um, I'll tell you about one today actually. It's their wives are using their husband's account. So it might be a male name, but it's not necessarily a male viewer. Although quite a few couples watch me together. And I had one chat this morning, honest to God. I woke up and I looked at my phone. I was looking at my phone as soon as I opened my eyes. And he said, he'd watched a bra video, mind you. It wasn't the latest video. And he said, ever thought about getting a real job? And
Or
I just said, well, I didn't say what I wanted to say. I always have to not say the first thing I want to say. And I just said, what a good idea.
oh, I admire that. That's a great
Yeah.
answer.
I just thought,
There's no comeback. Well,
no,
therein lies somebody who has absolutely no idea what goes on behind the scenes to put something like this on. So yeah,
yeah, you're not wrong.
I think it's great when you say about friends because I think that when we get older, I think we potentially do have fewer friends. And also when you're older, it might be harder to make new ones. So I
Definitely.
did wonder whether people who watch your channel do see you as a friend, and you've obviously said that they absolutely do.
Yeah, they absolutely do. Yeah. I mean, I remember, my mum's so funny with the things she says. I mean, funny, not funny. But, I remember her one time saying to me, well, you can't stop. You can never stop because those people are relying on you. I'm not a social work,
Oh
but
my
that's just come all over.
Well, I know myself personally, I had two or three quite difficult years, and your video would pop up, and I would think, oh, there's my friend Helen. And I
Oh,
just
that's
knew that I
lovely.
could either then or go back to and just sit and have a lovely half an hour of being entertained, have a laugh, be interested because I love, like you, the fashion, the makeup, all those things. And I'm not good at baking like you are, but you do inspire me to watch you do it, but not do it myself.
No,
But
but that's like all of us, isn't it? We all watch things on the TV that we're never going to do, but it's just nice sometimes to watch. And,
yeah,
that is sometimes a frustration. It's very difficult finding the balance, but, sometimes I'll show something that is expensive. I mean, I have just done a silk video actually that hasn't been approved yet for a company. And I love silk. I love silk. It's expensive, but sometimes I want to, I know I'm lucky. I mean, if I wasn't doing this, I couldn't do it. But, you know, sometimes it's just nice to see nice things, even if you can't have them yourself. Or you might think, well, actually, I'm going to ask everybody to club together and get me those silk pajamas if you're lucky enough to be in that position. But but I do, I also just filmed a Primark video.
Yeah.
So I try and keep the balance. And it can be quite challenging. And I am actually oversensitive. I am oversensitive. I'm getting better, but I do get quite upset when people really have a go at me for something that I did in good faith. But you have to grow a thicker skin. I mean, I have, but it's far from thick because
Yeah.
I'm a very, very sensitive, emotional person.
Well, for one, you're a woman, Helen, and it sort of comes in with our DNA, doesn't it? And we
Well,
can't please
yeah.
everybody. That's the thing. I mean, you just can't, can you? But you do your best because, like you say, you cover all sorts of different clothing brands. And being as part of your, some of that you get yourself, a lot of that you get yourself, but part of a YouTube channel, brands rely on you to be able to help them to get the word out there, but also to see what things look like on someone, or you've
Mm,
trialed something.
yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, I think we all enjoy that. And as I say, we never know what's coming up with your clothing, and it's all very different, and it's great. So,
Oh, I've just done bras as well.
oh, I think you're brave there. Yes, I have to say.
Brave is one word for it. I mean, I have to tell you, I mean, I keep forgetting that this is being recorded, but I recorded the video and I sent it for approval. And I very, very nearly said, actually, I'm not going through with it. And then I had a word with myself and I was like, don't um, fall into that trap. We all wear, well, most women wear a bra. And I'm not showing like nipples or anything. I mean, it was hilarious because I kept saying to Rob, don't come in. Like, you see me give birth 3 times. I'm just going to show these bras because actually, and what I do say in the video, there's a lot of ladies who are on the second time around situation and having the confidence to meet new people and maybe get intimate with a new partner after however many years.
Yes.
If there's something that can make you feel a bit more confident and you know, in your own skin in that situation, or just to feel good inside yourself. But it all comes down to confidence in the end, doesn't it? And I just hope my mum doesn't watch it.
Well, I think your mum has such a good sense of humour. She would love it. And I do, there was me saying right at the beginning, coming out of your comfort zone. And I think you've come out and out and out of your comfort zone. You've also tackled some really difficult subjects that I think that's brave, but thank goodness that you've done it. It'll make a difference to people. And
It
the other
does, and
thing
that's surprising.
Yes, and I like about your the bra, the underwear ones that you've done is that I think we can all, more mature people, women might fall into the trap of thinking, oh, those beautiful special bras are not for me or not for
Yeah,
every day, but you prove that they absolutely are and show us some
yeah, absolutely. Mm.
that, maybe we're not even aware that you can buy in the shops really because we don't look. So yeah, we do thank you for them. And
Oh, thank
what you
you.
were saying about your mum and that, I would say your husband, and I think particularly your mum who's in her 90s, same age group as my dad, they're a real hit on the channel, as are your lovely grandchildren and other members of your family. And we can't forget Dolly, of course.
Oh,
The lovely Dolly, your dog. She is so special. I always think, oh, great, I've seen Dolly today. Um,
yeah, she does like to steal the show.
she does, she does. And so do you feel that, I think people have accepted your family and that as friends as well, haven't they?
Yeah, yeah, they have. I mean, mum mum's terrible because she's always like, oh, they don't want to see me, but then she likes it really. And then it's actually been wonderful for her in many ways because she says, oh, I don't read the comments. She does read the comments. And to get to, she's 95 in June, to have so many people compliment you at that age. You don't get compliments when you get old. You just don't. I mean, I have had more compliments on this channel than I have had t- probably 10 times more than I've had the whole rest of my life put together. And I have to not let it go to my head. I mean, I don't, because I just think, really? Really? I just read one just now saying, you look stunning. I'm like, I've never been told that in my whole life. So I think it's very generous of people to say things like that. So
And
I never comment on anybody's YouTube videos.
I don't think that on YouTube in that scenario they wouldn't say it unless they really thought it as well.
No, it's remarkable.
I would use the word stunning when you had the plum dress, when you sent the pink one back, and
That was the one, actually.
I love that because I think that color is very classy, very much unlikely if you did wear it to an event, someone else would have that color on. So yeah,
Yeah, true.
that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I've had over 420 comments on that video, so I'm still ploughing through them actually, because I have committed to always answering or acknowledging them, and that is a big task sometimes. Like that video has been a very, because I'm not really feeling 100% of them. I feel well, but I just am not really back in the right headspace. And so I've really had to steel myself to do that. But it's a bit like having an empty inbox. If I don't do it, then I've lost that.
Yes.
There's no going back really. So I am ploughing through them
Then
slowly.
then you've got the next video that you've got to apply to. Yes, for everyone that's watching, Helen's just posted a very big holiday, so it takes a while to get back
Oh
to
yeah,
after something like that. So yes, and I think, the other thing you were saying about compliments and about your mum is actually a very attractive lady, isn't she? And her hair is just always just looks perfect. But
yeah. She's so fussy.
I remember my dad saying, you get to a certain age and you feel invisible. And I think something else that I want from this channel, and I think is that you obviously are doing in a very positive way with your channel, is to say to people that no, we're not invisible, and actually, now the world's our oyster. We can do so many things, and I think
Yeah.
you showing people with the makeup, with the skincare, with the clothing, and that sort of thing, just that alone, I think will have inspired so many people to dress that much better than they might have done before.
Lots, yeah, lots of ladies have said that.
And
Yeah,
they're no longer invisible. It gives them a bravery because, I've seen there is a channel where this lady goes out and films people on the street in London, Milan, and Paris. And they're women of a certain age, and the way they dress is beautiful. And they might have things that some women might think, oh no, I'm too old to wear that. But they rock it. They look even better than
yeah,
I think the young girls do. So
yeah.
I think anything that inspires us, because it does just give you a good feeling, and why shouldn't we, no matter what age we are, really?
Well, I always say to people, you're never going to be as young as this again.
Very good point.
You know, so you might think, oh, I hate my arms or whatever, but they're never going to look better. This today is as good as they're going to be. So don't waste this
Mm,
in that negative spiral. It's very easy to do that. But
yeah.
I've always wanted to dress nicely, as I've said when I was talking about my weight loss. But every time someone paid me a compliment, I added in my head for a fat person, always. So somebody at work, I did get a lot of, "Oh, you look nice today." And in my head, tagline for a fat person, always. And I look back and sometimes I wasn't even fat, but I always thought I was fat. When I was actually 3 stone lighter than I am now, I thought I was fat. So I really mourn the fact that I wasted those years thinking I was fat when I wasn't, because sizes have changed. When I was a size 14, that'd be a 12 now. And I thought I was fat because people were slimmer back then. So it is a bit of a vicious circle. But yeah, I've always liked to dress well and nicely, and always had a face of makeup at work. I never went to work without makeup on. Even when the kids were small, all I had to do for people to think I was ill was not put my red lipstick on. And everyone would go, oh, if I wanted a day off work, I just not put my red lipstick on. I go, oh God, you look pasty. And I go,
I must admit, I listen to you and it mirrors me so much. I've had I've had the weight issues and I've had those thoughts in my head. But also, if I'm going to go out, I can't hardly go out without lipstick on. I mean, lipstick's my favorite part of makeup. But
Yeah,
yeah, and we enjoy it, don't we? I know you enjoy it. So why not, if we do?
it's harmless, isn't it?
It is. Yes, absolutely. So
Mm.
I've got to ask because I was that person who saw you in the distance and thought, oh, there's my celebrity friend Helen. Um, have I got the nerve to go up and say hello? And I'm so glad I did because you were so welcoming and we had a lovely chat. And
Yeah.
I know that you
Was
do.
that Hedge End?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. And I know that you say to people, if you see me, do come up and say hello. But because of that, I have to say, what do your friends and family think of their YouTube sensation? And somebody who does get recognized in shops, in the street, what on earth do they think about that?
They think it's hilarious, actually. I mean, the best thing was Mum, when I had her here last year for those 3 months, and we went out and we got spotted as a pair 5 times in 3 days. And so she loved it. And she was like, oh, I'm going to be recognized. I love it. Do you know the worst thing is? The worst thing is when I think someone's recognized me and they don't say hello, because I'm in a bit of a quandary then. I'm thinking, are they nervous to say hello or they don't want to say hello or I feel uncomfortable then. I would much, much rather someone say hello. I mean, I find it, I mean, when I got spotted up in Wigan, that was the weirdest one because I was with my 3 brother-in-laws and this lady said, Helen Mary Jo. I mean, why not in Wigan? I've been spotted in the Philippines, but it just felt surreal actually. So, no, I love it. I love it. I mean, when I just put a pork pie in my mouth, I wasn't so impressed. In Marks and Spencer's food hall, I was starving, and me and the kids shared a packet of mini pork pies. And but yeah, no, the kids think it's brilliant. My kids, they're very proud of me, which is really, really lovely. And I know that because they tell people about me being a YouTuber, and that pleases me no end, actually. And even my son-in-law, Chris, Katie's husband, he's told me some really funny stories about showing his friends. He was working out on he works on yachts. His company that he works for does precision engineering for super yachts, and he quite often has to fly out and troubleshoot. And he was in the Mediterranean with 3 top-class sailors, racing sailors, in a boat, and they were becalmed and they started talking about social media. He told them about me, and then he said the weirdest thing was, Helen, then they spent the next hour all watching your videos. And he said, we're just sitting in the middle of the Med. And those kind of stories make me actually raw laughing. So yeah, I'd say I haven't had any. I mean, I've been with friends when people have come up and said hello, and my friends just think it's hilarious. But I haven't actually been spotted for a little while. So mind you, I don't go out that much either. But yeah, no, it's all good, all good. Nothing. Well, there might be negative stuff, but I don't know about it.
Yes, I that's amazing, and I should imagine your family are very proud of you, and it is not something you expect your mum to be doing necessarily, and it's yes, it's great fun. So yeah, well done you. So would you say, I mean, I think summing up everything that you've said, I would think you probably have felt this, but do you think it's given you a new lease of life? I mean, it's given you a lot of work, I know that, but
It's given me a 2,000,000% new lease of life. I mean, Katie, now the mathematician, she'd say, Mum, you can't go more than 100%. Like, there's only 100%. But yeah, totally, totally, totally. You know what? It's given me friends as well because they are my online friends. And I'll just quickly say something here. And that is, did you see the video where I mooted the idea of starting a members
yeah,
channel?
I did. Yeah.
And I was very upset by that debacle, very upset, because I felt like I'd been misunderstood. But my thinking behind it had been, it was to get kind of a smaller group that we could actually meet in real life. That
Yes.
was kind of where I was heading with it. I mean, you know, it was a mistake. I own it. I didn't expect the response that I got. And it was very hard for me because I did feel like I'd been misunderstood. A lot of people thought I was ending the normal channel, you know, that I was ending my regular channel. I wasn't. I just felt like there was a core hub of people that always comment, always joining on the lives. And I kind of just thought we could become a tighter community. But I misread the room, and you know, I shan't even ever go near there again. But yeah, I mean, a friend of mine actually saw the comments and came round with some flowers for me because she said, "Oh gosh, you've had a rough ride this last couple of days," and it was. And I never told the children, my adult children, and then one of them saw it, and then they put on our group WhatsApp, "Oh, mum," and I was like, "Yeah, I know. It was hard. It was really hard because I just felt." I understood where people were coming from, but I did feel misunderstood in what my aim had been, you know. And the thing is, it is a lot of work. All of this is a lot of work. I work full time, effectively. I might not work 9 to 5 every day. I've been working all day today. I haven't stopped working today on the laptop. In fact, I got a numb bum from sitting down so long on the laptop, you know. And but I want to be like not really working tomorrow and Friday, so
Yes.
I've
Yeah.
had to come.
It's nice to have that flexibility. And I think
Yeah,
when we do get a bit more mature, it's work smarter. Um,
mm,
have have that time when you can have it to yourself, but just do a few
yeah,
more.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
why not?
nobody's making me do this. You know, this is my own volition. Um, but I really, really enjoy it. I do really enjoy it. You know, I mean, if you saw my downstairs bedroom now, you'd wonder what I enjoy because it looks like a jumble sale. But that's because when I try things on, I just throw them all on the bed and then I go back and tidy them all up and, you know, get them all ready for returning or keeping or whatever. But yeah, it is good though.
Yes, and well, I think that you sum that up really well, and I know you do work hard, but it's enjoyable, and it comes across that you enjoy it, Helen, in your humour, in the way that you talk to us. It comes across that you do enjoy it. I did see that video. I didn't see the feedback. I understood where you were coming from. I'm sure a lot of people did, but unfortunately, it's only the ones probably that didn't and the negative that would respond. It's always the same, isn't
Well, you
it?
live and learn, don't you?
Yes, and I mean, why shouldn't you in your business try something new as well, and float it and see what people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
just
a very subtle balance that you play with this kind of work because, you know, as I said to somebody, I don't know if you understand what I mean, but it's a little bit like being in a popularity contest. You
yeah,
know,
you're,
I can I can lose my audience just as quickly as I've gained my audience,
yeah,
and it's a very fragile place.
yeah,
And so many people unsubscribed on the back of that video. I mean, it just started going like this, and you know that's hard because you think, oh my goodness, you know, I wasn't. It like you didn't have to sign up, you know, if you wanted to be part of that club. Every club has a fee. But anyway, it's history now, and I shan't ever go near it again. I just learnt my lesson.
yes, and I think you did hit the nail on the head when you said that people thought maybe you were moving away from the channel. I think that's the only reason anybody could have thought negative of it. They obviously didn't take the time to really understand where you were coming from. But like I
Mm.
say, why shouldn't you try new things and just float them and
Well, that's what I thought, but, you know, as I say, you live and learn, and that's fine, because the ironic thing is a lot of people said, "Oh, you know, 8.99 or whatever it was, 7.99 a month is too much money." But actually, I would have to put as much work into those videos
yeah.
with a much smaller audience. So you do you know, I'm not doing it for nothing. I mean, I do get paid for this. I wouldn't still be doing it if I didn't earn any money from it because it is a full-time job. And I love doing it, but I don't love it that much, to do
Yeah,
it.
you're providing a service, so you should be paid for that service. And
Yeah,
I always,
yeah.
as well, because I run a business, I always think that, when you worry about things like money, you've got to think that people would rather that you were there than not. So, so they would expect you to earn money because then they can keep enjoying your channel. If it wasn't for that, you wouldn't be able to do it. And it's as simple as,
No.
or you could think of other things that you could do with your time.
Mm.
So finally, then, Helen, I think, there might be people listening and thinking, I've always wanted to start a new business or a new hobby or something, but that ship's passed. I'm too old now. And I mean, that's something I've heard a lot in my lifetime, and it's a sad thing to hear. So, what advice would you give someone that's thinking, I'm too old to do this?
You're never too old. I always say this to people, kind of turning it back a little bit. When people are worrying about their children not being on a path to their career or whatever, and they're 25 or something, I say these kids are going to be working till they're 70. Retirement for them is going to be 70, maybe 72, 73. So they've got another 50 years to work. And, I'm 70 next year, but if my mum's anything to go by, I've got another 26 years to fill.
Yes.
But you won't ever know if you don't try, will you?
No, exactly.
That's my thing. If you don't try, you won't ever know.
Yeah.
So what's to lose, really? I mean, a lot of people, again, obviously I can talk for England, but I do get frustrated. When we were on holiday, for example, I was talking to one of the guides that we had, and he was a journalist. He was a qualified guide in Chile, and he was also a group tour leader. And he also went on holiday somewhere different every year with his two parents. And this year, for example, he was going in an RV to Canada. And I said to him, you should start a YouTube channel because you've got all the components there. You know everything about travel, you know all about Chile, Santiago. And I said, and traveling with your parents must be hilarious because he said we round non-stop. And he was trilingual. And the first thing he said is, what camera do I need? And I said, you don't need any camera. Just use your phone. Do not spend one penny on equipment. What's important is practice when you've only got 10 viewers. You know,
Yeah.
don't don't try and make it perfect for 10 viewers. By the time you get to 100 viewers, you'll know if it's going to work or not. But
Yeah.
people always want to kind of delay it by rehearsing. And I mean,
Yeah.
I've got another friend, she's a really good hairdresser. I don't think she'll, obviously, she might watch this from where if she does, she does. And she asked me, and she bought some equipment, but she hasn't delivered anything. You prevaricate all the time.
Mm.
You're not going to do it, so just do it.
Yeah.
What's to lose?
Don't think people expect perfection now, and certainly when you're doing what you're doing with the YouTube, people want it real. They don't want a Hollywood, perfection. They want real people, and
No.
that's actually what you deliver. So, well, anyway, we're really almost out of time by the looks of it. So, I just wanted to say thank you so much, Helen, for giving us your time today. You are a busy lady, but you proved conclusively that it's never too late to start to do something new and make a success of it and be magnificent.
Absolutely.
And Helen's channel is Helen Mary Jo, and I will be adding a link to her YouTube channel in the description below. Do be entertained by her and do make her a friend as well as I've done. So thank you so much, Helen.
Well, before you finish up, Lindy, I just want to say well done you, because you've done it for one thing, and I would just give you the same advice: consistency, consistency, consistency. And I have to say, if after 6 months it was still just 300 people, I wouldn't have carried on, because I could probably just talk to them in real life.
Yeah.
But you will, unless you put something in, you will never get anything out. And so well done to you. And I think it's a lovely idea, actually, a
Thank
really lovely format and idea. And I wish you all the luck in the world.
Well, what did you think of Helen? What did you think of her story and her journey? It's very uplifting, isn't it? And hopefully, it's inspired you to look at something that you've always wanted to do or to come up with something completely new. And I thoroughly enjoyed my chat with Helen today, and I look forward to her next video and her next video because it's like a friend when I see her appear on YouTube. There's Helen. I'm going to have a listen and a cup of tea and sit down for half an hour and listen to her. So I'm pleased that you've met her too, and I will put a link to her channel in the description box below. So do sign up and join her, and do sign up and follow our channel if you've not done so already. As I say, we're a growing channel, but we will have something for you new every week, and no topic is off limit, like I said. And please do add your comments in the description below, and also add any comments about subjects you would like us to cover. I would be delighted. So, signing off today, Lindy Lou, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.